everybody. So today we are going to be doing a very chill yoga sequence. We are going to be focusing on the earth element and really focusing on grounding ourselves. So every pose that I'm going to show you in this sequence is going to be on the ground. And the invitation here is to really feel into the points of contact where your body is touching the mat or the ground. So we're going to start on the back. You can lie down in a way that makes you comfortable. You can also use props. So you can have your feet on the mat, knees bent, or if you have a bolster or a pillow, you can place it underneath the knees with the legs long. This just helps to put less strain on the low back when you're lying down on the ground. You can close your eyes or soften your gaze and just begin to notice your breath, feeling into your inhale and your exhale. And then beginning to notice the points of contact where your body is meeting the floor or the mat beneath you. So head, neck, back, arms, buttocks, legs, feet. And see if you can find a steady, even breath. If it helps to count the length of your inhale and exhale, you can. So you can inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll just be here for 3 more rounds. And then we're going to bring the feet on the mat. If you had a bolster or a pillow underneath, you can move it to the side. We have the feet on the mat. We're going to take the feet wide, mat width apart. Arms can be in a T, or you can have cactus arms. And we're going to bring ourselves into reclined twist. Exhale, let the knees draw to one side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, knees to other side. Inhale, back to center. Just like that. Exhale, one side. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side. Inhale, center. 3 more rounds. And then we're going to have the feet just be where they're at. If you want to, you can have the knees together with the feet wide, or you can just have the feet on mat and the knees are apart. We're going to bring the arms back overhead. And on an inhale, we're going to bring the hands up towards the ceiling, and exhale, release back down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, this time we're going to stay up. We're going to do a little bit of retraction and protracting in the shoulders. So inhale, you're going to reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling, and your shoulders may begin to lift a bit. Exhale, you're going to bring the shoulders back down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lowering. 2 more times. And go ahead and release the arms. We're going to bring one leg up towards the ceiling. If you need to have a slight bend in the knee, or you need to have the leg further away from you because it feels too tight in the legs to be doing this, then you can. But we're just going to take some circles here. And then go ahead and reverse. What we're doing here is just circling for the hip. And then you can release. Other leg comes up. Same thing here. It can be straight or a slight bend in the knee. It can also be further away from you if you need it to be. And circle. Go ahead and reverse. Then bring the feet back onto the mat, or both feet onto the mat. And we'll roll over to one side, come up into a seat. So, it's important here that you just find a comfortable seated position. It doesn't really matter which. We're going to inhale, both arms up overhead, and exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach, and exhale. One more time. Inhale, reach, and exhale. This time we're going to inhale, keep the hands apart, exhale into cactus arms. Inhale, exhale. One more time. And then releasing. We'll find our way into what's called gate pose. So from where you're at, you're going to come into table and bring one leg out to the side. Notice here I have my toes pointing forward, and I'm going to come up. You can reach this hand up, a hand that's opposite from the leg, and then lean over to the side. And we're going to bring this same hand that's up, we're going to bring it to the mat, we're going to reach the other arm to that other direction. We're going to get stretching out the other side, essentially, is what we're doing. And then we'll come back to center. Bring the hands down. We'll do the other side. So leg comes out, toes are pointing forward. You're coming up. If you need balance here, you can tuck your back toes. Reach up and over. And then this hand is now going to come to the other side and down. Another hand is going to the other side. And then you can come forward. And then this time we're going to come into cat and cow. So hands are underneath wrists, wrists and hands underneath shoulders. Knees are underneath hips. Inhale, drop belly, lift gaze, and exhale, round back, drop head. Feel into your spine, feel into the back. 3 more rounds. Inhale, cow pose, exhale, cat. 1 more. Then we're going to come into a wide leg child's pose. So you can take your knees as wide as is comfortable for you. I'm just going mat width apart. And you can let your hips come back towards your heels. Extend the arms out. Let the forehead rest on the mat. And then we'll come back into table. This time we're going to reach the right foot back, tuck the toes, press into the heel. Calf stretch. Then we'll do the other side. And then we're going to go ahead and come into a low squat. So if you have props with you, you can use that to help you. So using this bolster, I'm going to come into a squat, and I'm going to sit on it. And you can have your hands to the heart and have your elbows here to open up through the hips a bit more, or you can also reach your hands down and place them on the floor to help you balance. You can also have your heels up. Your heels don't have to be down. I know for me there are days I like my heels to be up and days where it feels better to have my heels down. And then we'll go ahead and release and come into a seat. So, going to have the legs out long. So we're doing a wide forward fold here. And if you have a cushion or a bolster pillow, that can also be helpful. I'm going to start with a tall spine, and I'm going to fold forward. I'm just going to have my hands here resting on the bolster to have some support. You are also free, if you want to not use any props or don't have any props, to just come forward and go down as low as you can. You can perhaps come all the way down in the arms, or you can bend the elbows onto the forearms. But for me, for today, this is a nice, chill place to be, to have the bolster. So I'm going to be here. You may begin to notice sensation in the hips or in the inner thigh. And also notice here my feet are passive because I'm doing this more as a yin style. If you want to have it be more active, you can flex in the ankles, have the toes pointing back towards you. This is going to give you a different sensation than this. And go ahead and come out of it. So spine is long. I'm going to move the prop. Knees are coming together, and you can do side to side here. Okay, just a little bit of movement here. And then we will go ahead and come onto the belly. We're going to practice what's called half frog pose. And I'm going to have a blanket. Sometimes it's nice to use a blanket. I'm going to take a blanket to the side here. This is my right side. And coming into the belly, I'm going to bring my knee out to the right, my right knee out from where my hip is. And this is where the blanket comes in handy. It's nice to have a blanket underneath the hip just for some support, or just for the knee even, just have support for the knee if it gets uncomfortable. And I'm just resting my forehead on my hands. This is a very, very passive hip stretch. You don't have to do very much here. It's really just allowing gravity to do the work for you. And the longer you stay here, and the more this hip just opens up naturally. This is also a very good place to really ground yourself and feel into the points of contact where your body is touching the mat beneath you. You may notice here your hands and your arms, your chest, your belly, your legs. Your feet. But this is mostly the front of your body that's touching the mat. So it is really interesting to feel into, as it's different than from when you're on your back. We'll go ahead and switch to the other side. So I'm going to bring the leg back, and then I'm going to take my blanket to the other side. And same thing here. I'm going to take the knee out to the side, the blanket underneath, and then you can change your hand. So whichever hand was on top, you can just switch that out. And also another thing, just to let you know, is that if it doesn't feel good to have the knee come out from where the hip is, you can change it. You can bring the knee a little bit lower, or you can take the knee up a little bit higher. That can change the sensation. And again, allowing yourself to settle into this pose and feeling into the points of contact where your body is touching the mat. And in the upper body, it's going to be similar to the other side. But in the lower body, it might feel differently. This time, on this side, I'm really sensing into where my right thigh is and how my right thigh is really touching the mat. You may also feel into sensation in the hip. Maybe this side is more sensation, or maybe it's less sensation on the other side. You may also feel into the sensation of non-sensation. Then go ahead and bring that leg back. So both legs are together, and I'm also just going to take a moment here and just to feel both legs by each other and out of the pose, and seeing what I notice here from doing half frog pose. I'm going to press myself up, and this time I'm going to come into a reclined butterfly, and props are optional, but sometimes they are nice to have. And for this variation, I'm going to have a blanket to be where my head would be, and then I'm going to also have a bolster. So blanket I'm just using as like a pillow. And then I'm going to bring the bolster underneath where my legs are. And I'm going to bring the soles of my feet together so that the bolster is supporting my thighs and my knees as they're coming out. There's a lot of different ways to do a reclined butterfly, but this is an option. You can have your hands by your sides, or you can have one hand on belly, one hand on heart, and really feel into your breath here, especially in a reclined position. As you inhale, you can feel that belly expand. As you exhale, you can feel your belly contract. It's that rising and falling sensation. It's a natural rhythm and movement in the body. And then I'm going to gently bring the knees in together. And I'm going to move my prop side. Roll over to one side and come into the seat. So that was the sequence. Once you come into a reclined butterfly, if you're propped up and you're comfortable, you are free to stay there as long as you would like. Another thing you can just do is shavasana, basically there, or you can come into a regular shavasana where you're lying on your back, or you can do a shavasana where you're using the wall to do legs up the wall, however is most comfortable for you. But we're going to do a very quick grounding meditation, and so since you're watching this, you could do the grounding meditation with me and then go into your shavasana, or you can do your shavasana and then come back to the video. And so just find a comfortable seat for yourself, and I'm actually going to sit on the bolster here. So my hips are elevated a bit. Spine is tall, shoulders down away from ears. You can just have your hands on your legs. You can have the palms facing down, or you can face the palms up. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. And just begin to feel into your seat. So feel into your legs. Feel into your sit bones and where they're touching ground or mat or prop beneath you. And feel into your legs and the heaviness of your legs, and which parts of your legs are touching the floor beneath you. And this is that sense of grounding here. This is that earth element. It'd be even better if you could go outside and do this. And then take a moment to feel into your spine. It's nice and tall. And then notice your shoulders. See if you can release your shoulders down away from your ears. As you inhale, you can imagine as if you're drawing energy from your feet and up. to the crown of your head. And as you exhale, you can think about releasing that energy back down into the seat. Inhale, lifting, and exhale, grounding. And then perhaps you can just focus on what it's like to be grounding, what it's like to just be focusing on your seat. You can use your breath here to help yourself anchor the mind if your mind gets busy. Just softly noticing your breath, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling and exhaling. And you can even visualize yourself as a mountain here. Your legs is the base of the mountain, and your head is the peak. And you're strong, steady, stable, and grounded. And whenever you're ready, you can release the meditation and open your eyes. I will share with you one quote just to inspire in you the earth element and the sense of grounding. And the quote is by Hien, who is a Vietnamese Buddhist monk and peace activist. And he says, "The miracle is to walk on the green earth, dwelling deeply in the present moment and feeling truly alive." And I hope you have a lovely rest of your day wherever you're at. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Gratitude to each and every one of you for tuning in.